Come on. What do you see? What do you look at this? What do you look at this object as now? A mere plastic bottle, or an eco brick which can make tremendous changes in the world. As my parents would have never thought that I'd be addressing you all 17 years ago, my name would most possibly be Sambhav. Thank you. So, what I have today, right here, in my hand, is a rather very interesting object. Because if this bottle gets crowned, it can rule for more than China's Han dynasty's ruling term, which is 50 birthdays more than the ruling term of 400 years. But I am no Greta Thunberg, right? I am no Greta Thunberg. So I won't be cribbing about the environment for the next span of my speech, so you get a next 7 minutes sleep, and my point of coming here makes no sense. But what I'm going to talk about today is how we all have to ignite a capstone within ourselves and open up the caps of the bottle and escape into the infinite space. This bottle, when it's closed, doesn't it feel too claustrophobic? Too claustrophobic. It is a restricted world, you see. Right? It is a restricted world. We're so confined. This is our term 1, term 2. This is our mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell. This is our, rishtas incoming and outgoing on WhatsApp. This is our, as the cool kid would say, college apps. And this is our dukh, dard, pida, kasht, and etc. examples from my average Instagram meme page. But what I'm trying to convey to you all is you have done a wonderful thing to come up here. You've taken the first step to thinking out of the box and trying to ignite this capstone that I'm talking about. If I explain you, but what I'm trying to say is, it's only the half work. Just like this bottle being half filled, or rather half empty, this work is incomplete. What I'm trying to tell you, I'll tell you in terms of Indian geopolitics, right? Indian politics. So, Indian politics and me being a common man, it would go like this. भारत जोड़ो यात्रा में तो मैं भी चले जाऊं, पर क्या उससे सही में भारत जुड़ रहा है? अच्छे दिन तो मैं भी दिखा दूं, पर कोई नींद से तो जगा है. साइकिल तो मैं भी चला सकता हूं, पर कमबख्त साइकिल ही स्टैंड पर है. और झाड़ू तो मैं भी लगा रहा हूं, पर क्या उससे मेरा मन साफ हो रहा है? So ask this to yourself. If I'm here, what am I actually doing? Am I generating any sort of impact in the room or in the people and opening the capstone? You've done a wonderful job to come here. You're gonna give plenty of speeches. You're gonna do plenty of work. You're gonna learn plenty of things from plenty of people. But what I'm trying to say is, you just thinking out of the box. What we need to do at this moment is not to think out of the box. It's rather to live out of the box and question the unquestionable. Sounds too Gen Z, right? Too Gen Z. So I'll give you 2 examples from my life, from my experience, that how I, with a couple of my friends, escaped this bottle into the empty space. And exactly a month ago, I was in the Oxford University in the UK. I was there for a 15 days conference in different parts of the UK, and thank you, but I've not got the accent in it, so somehow we'll just go on with a bottle of water. Right. So I was in the UK for 15 days, and we had 1,500 people coming over from 40 different nationalities and 171 schools, and we had different keynote speakers speaking on different agendas. And there was this one speaker who was a professor of economics at the Oxford University, and the man spoke for an hour on environmental degradation. To much of controversy, the man himself was wearing a pair of leather shoes. Don't look at my shoes, I'm wearing none of them, and I'm only speaking for 7 minutes. So fair on my side. But the man spoke for an hour, and after his speech, he gets a hamper from Mont Blanc. economy and environment, both downfall. So we used to have this discussion hour after every keynote. So the other fellows from other schools, we all used to discuss on what the keynote was about. So as soon as our discussion for this keynote starts, everyone from the group becomes typical Indian aunties. And they start shooting allegations on the professor. And then comes this pure Indori guy who says that if you're going to do this for the next 1 hour, you're practically doing the same thing as what the professor did. Just speak. So why don't we go out on the streets of Oxford, pick up a garbage bag, and clean the streets of Oxford? वहाँ भी रहना चाहिए Indore number 1. Right? Right? So this Indori at heart guy convinced everyone to go on a park right outside the Keble College where we were all stationed and clean the streets. And to much of your surprise, we collected 2 kgs of garbage. Can you come back? Yeah. 2 kgs of garbage in just 45 minutes. And that's what I'm trying to convey to you all. Don't just think out of the box. Bring the capstone within yourself, open up the space, and get into the infinite parallels of life. That's when you live out of the box. But too much environment going on, right? So I'll get to another experience of mine from the same trip, which relates to communication and getting out of the box in terms of communication. So I was on a 9-hour flight back to New Delhi, and I met this man from Vijayawada, and he was there in the UK for 2 months at his younger son's place. And as any 2 Indians would never resist themselves with, we also started sharing our lives and talking. So I got to know that he lost his wife a few years ago, and there was a mutual shared sense of boredom in the flight. And in that sense, I asked myself if there's anything that we can do, the 2 of us can do. And with this living out of the box brain, it clicks my mind, and I asked him if he would linguistically invest the 2 of us and teach me his native language, Telugu. So I pulled out, and he did not refuse. He said, yes, of course. Why not? So I pulled out the air sickness bag for some space to write, and a pen that I had already in my pockets. And the man would dictate me a phrase in Telugu. Yeah, right here. The man would dictate me a phrase in Telugu, and its English translation. I would learn it and converse with him back. This went on for another hour. And what I saw after that hour was a transformation from that bored face of a normal man to a cheered up new Telugu teacher. And that is what I'm trying to convey to you all. That you don't have to discuss, debate, play blame games, talk about the environment, become Greta Thunberg, throw some tomato soups on some paintings. No, you don't have to do that. What you have to do is a little bit of getting out of the box. And if I leave the stage right now, it would be much paradoxical on my side, and it would make 0 sense because I just spoke. So I have an activity for all of you. The ones listening here live, and the ones who will be listening to it after a few minutes perhaps. So here's an activity for you all. You will be getting a couple of bottles. You will be getting this milk bottle or probably a water bottle, some sort of a bottle in this conference. What you have to simply do is, whatever garbage that is around you that you encounter on the campus, you have to collect the garbage, put it inside the bottle. Let me tell you something. If you do that, you won't have just a bottle in your hands. What you'll have is perhaps an eco break. Right? This is an eco break. And let me tell you that after you're done with this activity, you'll have a feeling of being on the paths of becoming a change maker. And let me tell you, we're solving 2 issues with doing this activity. Have you seen this thing that was lying here and was intriguing you for a few minutes?
Yes.
It is actually a project that I've been working on since my summer with an industry and a local furnisher. And I got this a few days back. is a stray animal shelter totally made out of recycled plastic. Plastic that was, thank you, plastic that was equivalent to 500 bottles or 500 eco bricks. So our target today is to collect 500 eco bricks in whatever time possible in the next 2 days. You will have a box at the reception of the university, so you can put that bottle in it. We collect it and we make a few of these shelter homes. And that would be the time that you realize that you're intangibly taking a lot of things from this conference. Honestly. And that's your step to getting out of the box into the infinite space and living and cherishing as a knowledge resource curator of yourself. Think about it again. Come on. What do you see? What do you look at this? What do you look at this object as now? A mere plastic bottle, or an eco brick which can make tremendous changes in the world. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. Yeah. And this one's a complimentary to my side.